Hi, it's Megan. So 2014 was kind of an exploration year for me with makeup, where I tried a whole bunch of products and brands and just kind of went a little wild with different makeup things. And 2015, I've decided I learned a lot about makeup last year. And so this year I'm going to try to focus on just getting the things that I most want, or the best items out of every collection. The one collection so far this year that's really intrigued me was the Guerlain's collection for, I don't know, spring, I guess. So I got a couple of items from that, and the first one is the one that I have on my cheeks right now. I don't know if you can see. I tried to put just a little bit extra on so that it shows better on camera. I didn't blend it as much as I would if it wasn't on camera, just because I figured you want to see it. And then I have outdoor swatches, which I always put at the very beginning of the video when I'm just talking. And you can see outside in kind of the natural sunlight. So this is in a little, I like the packaging. So this is the blush. This is actually one of the Meteorite powders. But this, and that's the next video. This is just the blush, and a couple of people have complained, and I get it, about the packaging, which is cardboard. I think it's these two little cherubs. I think it's probably one of the prettiest packages I've ever seen, ever, but it is cardboard. So if you're going to be offended by that, that's not a rumor, it's true. So you open it up, and it's got a little puff like this. These are $53, and it's 0.45 ounces. So that's the other complaint that I've heard, which is, oh, that is so expensive. But I looked, and the blush I would say this is closest to is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting blushes, which are 0.15 ounce, not 0.4 ounce. 0.45 ounce is the Guerlain, and 0.15 ounce is the Hourglass. The Hourglass is 35, so this is actually a better deal. But you can see it comes like this in these little balls, like the Meteorites, and they're a little bit harder to use than a regular blush. And I think also just because of the presentation, since the packaging looks so, I don't know, small, it looks small. And then it has a little powder puff, and I'm going to do a little powder puff so you can see what happens when I do the powder puff. It comes on so strong, I almost can't blend it out. I have to use a brush for these. So the blush I actually have to use is a blush brush like this, and it's actually pink naturally on the edge, it's not the blush. I have to use one that will diffuse it a little bit, because otherwise it comes on way too pigmented. And so that's where I think this blush is super different from a lot of the other blushes that kind of have this luminous look to them. The Hourglass is much less pigmented. It's also a lot warmer. This, if you look at it, is, there's Mo, is just a rich, warm pink. It is slightly warm toned only because it's so rich a pink, and it is a true pink, I think, applied, but I'll get to that in a minute. And barely warm, but it's a medium, almost medium dark pink. So according to Guerlain, they say it's a hybrid blush with 3 kinds of pearls that create an angelic looking complexion, give cheeks the appearance of soft springtime freshness and radiance. This blush brings together the harmony of 3 meteorite pearls. So it's fuchsia that revives the natural color of the cheeks, an iridescent champagne that illuminates the curve of the cheekbones, and a rose petal pink that gently refreshes the complexion. I was just looking at this, it says it's a limited edition collection. It also has a stronger violet scent, in my opinion, than the Meteorites do. So if you really don't like the violet scent, this might turn you off because it's pretty violet. But what I really like about it is that it has a very finely milled, soft, gentle illumination like the Meteorites. It's less glittery or chunky than a lot of other like blushes, and it wears really well. It wears like 6, 7, almost more than that hours on me, just depending on my day. And I like the fact that it is really a pure pink and doesn't have those warm undertones. I'm kind of a little over all the warm golden undertones that we've had for the past year on the cheeks. I'm really excited to see one that just has pink illumination, and it's just a really pretty. Is it an angelic glow? I don't know. But the other thing I was going to note is that I love champagne highlighters. Those are my favorite. So I am inclined to like this more than a lot of other people. And then I also like the Guerlain Meteorites, which some people don't see that soft little illuminating glow that you get from using them and feel that they're overpriced. So I really love this blush. It's actually probably one of my favorite blushes, but it probably isn't for everyone. Because why? Because some people don't like the violet, some people don't like the package, some people probably just don't want a pure pink blush that has that soft illumination to it, and it's expensive. So anyway, that's all I have to say. Please subscribe on YouTube. It really helps me a lot if you subscribe, so I would really appreciate it. And if you have this, I would, or other products in the collection or something else that you just think is amazing, I would love to know. Thanks.